It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day. Yesterday was Sunday and it was my day off. But I was just dreaming about today, getting my hands into this dirt. This is the neighbor's little installation that I did about three years ago. And, you know, they moved, place was empty, new people came in, hadn't met them, and I walk by this every day, and so I did make contact with the owner, who was very gracious and agreed to allow me, because she doesn't know me from Adam, but she did allow me to come in here and do some maintenance. So this is such a great opportunity to show you and to talk you and to walk you through, because I'm sure you all have situations like this happening in your own yards where things have run amok. And I don't usually get the opportunity to work with such a run-amucky garden because I tend to stay on top of things. What you don't see here is some really next level ribbon work, which is completely lost because the plants have overgrown their spaces so much. We've got, you know, this aeonium that's about to bloom out, and this terrible looking cotyledon that just, you know, is on the way out. I've got some beautiful plants over here that aren't even visible underneath that pygmy date palm. You know, we're going to do things today that are going to hopefully really help and inspire you to do this in your own gardens. It's just so important to remember not to get overwhelmed. Don't come out here and go, oh God, I don't even know where to begin. The idea is just begin. So now, here's a situation. This aeonium has not bloomed yet, but when I do a maintenance, because I am not typically at a maintenance every single day, I may only be at a maintenance once a year, I have to make some executive decisions. If this were your yard and you really want to encourage bees and wildlife, you might want to wait on this to pull it out until after it's finished blooming. For the sake of maintenance, I'm going to go ahead and do it today because I also want to show you how it's done. Now, this, oh my gosh, the way to handle this, because not all of the plants, not all of these aeoniums have bloomed out. So the way to do it is just to take and cut away the part that you know has bloomed out so you can expose the rest. Okay. Now, see, look at that. Now I can see, right? Oh, see, it doesn't even look that bad, really. All of these aeoniums are her babies, and they're all absolutely fine. If I were to leave this like this, would this grow a new plant? No. This would harden off and create a stump, and there might be, you know, additional branching come, you know, from the sides. But who wants to look at that? So what I'm going to be doing, and what I recommend, you know, you do, is go ahead and reset these plants. So next step is to take off all the pups. You want to leave a little bit of stem, because if you live in an area that does not, you know, where it does rain or you do have weather, you want to make sure that you harden these plants off for about a week in the garage. Or if it's really hot, you'll want to let them harden off first, because if you take a plant, a freshly cut plant like this, and stick it back in the ground and it gets really hot, these leaves are going to burn. They're going to turn black. Or if you get a lot of rainfall and the soil stays wet, you could have stem rot. So remember, milk and honey. This is a shady garden, and it's San Diego, and we're not going to have any more rain, and it's not going to get too hot for them. So I'm making an executive decision to just replant them today.
Do you leave stem in case it does rot, so you can then cut the rot off? Is that what you're trying to say?
Hannah says, you know, do you leave the stem? Why do you leave the stem? Well, I leave some stem because I want to be able to anchor the plant back in the ground. So I want to have a little something to work with. Also, in the event that you do have a situation of rot, you can save the plant by cutting away the dead tissue until you get to healthy tissue, thus not losing the whole plant. Rot tends to start here and work its way up. So if you catch it in time before it gets to the crown, oftentimes you can save your plant. More on that later. So yeah, I'm just cutting these out. There's some really big, beautiful ones too. This is very exciting. And as you're working, as you're doing this, you're going to be able to see so much more of what needs done that you couldn't see before you got started. Okay, now I have, right? Yep, I freed up all of the aeoniums. Now I'm left with this great big trunk. I haven't freed them all up. This one is attached too. How interesting. Okay, this is a special circumstance. I love that there. I do not want to change a thing. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it right here. I'm releasing it from the mama plant. Now I can pull this root system out. Shake off the dirt. All right, set that aside. Now this one that I didn't want to move. See all these air roots on here? This plant has been surviving very, very nicely in this spot. So I can just tuck that back, cover it up, and then as I go on about my maintenance, I might put some things around to kind of conceal this trunk. But I just love the way this looks right here. This is just sad. This cotyledon is, oh God, I mean, I don't know. I'm guessing it probably got too wet at some point this winter when we had all the rains. The water probably flooded it because it's just so unhappy. But I love the color. I love how stressed out it is. So what I'm going to do is cut this up for parts. I may be able to use some of these pieces for color and texture when I get to the point in this process where I'm resetting the garden. So remember, you know, what you're going to do as you start working your way through and pulling stuff out, don't put them back. Don't put everything back right away. Wait until you're ready. This is a two-step process. First, we pull things out so we can see what we're doing and we clean. Then we restage. So everything that I pull out, the aeoniums, the cotyledons, whatever, I'm going to be setting aside so that I have a clear path to see what the heck is going on. Now, over here, let's see, we have a pygmy date palm. This was not my choice. The client wanted this, so I would have rather have done a cute little aloe ferox or, you know, some sort of aloe tree or something else, but whatever, it's fine. But see, look it's covering up this gorgeous barrel cactus. You know, I've got Crassula ovata, argentea, and then I've got what looks to be an aloe glauca hybrid back here completely hidden from view. Now, that's okay. Remember, this garden hasn't seen my clippers in 2 years. It's okay that things have crowded and, you know, hidden. I can fix it. I'm going to be pulling out this glauca. I'm going to be limbing up this palm tree and then making an executive decision about whether I want to leave the barrel cactus there or not. I'll probably be pulling out this crassula. It's just, you know, I'm just going to open it up so this space can breathe. Now this maintenance is going to be a series of videos. So I'm going to stretch this out. There's just so much information to give you. So I'm going to stretch this out over a few days. But let me go ahead and show you what it would look like to pull out this Crassula ovata. I just want you to see. Okay, I'm going to have to cut it first. And don't panic, anybody. You know, I'm gonna use every single bit of this plant again. I promise. Okay, I need the shovel on this one. This is another reason why I like to do maintenance regularly, so I don't have to work this hard. Okay. All right. So now what I'm seeing some weeds that I need to tackle. I'm seeing, how easy it's going to be to limb up this pygmy palm. Are you getting the sense of what a process this is? And that you don't necessarily have to have a plan right out of the gate, that it's perfectly acceptable to make this stuff up as you go along. So now, clearly, this Argentea needs to come out too, because I have this big gaping wound right here. So that's fine. So remember, if you're feeling overwhelmed, don't. Just start with the thing that screams out at you the most that it needs help and address it first. Then go to the second thing and the third thing and so on. Resist the temptation to replant as you go. You want to just get things out so that you can open up the space and see. Remembering that you can always stick things back as cuttings anytime you choose. I will see you tomorrow where we will continue this process and we will keep going until this garden looks absolutely 100. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with Extreme Quarantine Gardening Day 1 and your succulent tip of the day.